Hi there, welcome back. This is Breathe and Budget. My name is Taryn. We talk about all things finance related on this channel, how I use the zero-based budget method, cash envelopes, as well as fun savings challenges to meet our financial goals. So if any of that is of interest to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join our community here, and let's get into today's video. All right, you guys, we are going to do a quick check-in with my essentials binder and see where we are at for spending. Remember, I did a lot more for dining out and my personal spending because I knew that I was going to be going away to San Diego this past weekend with Sky. She had a couple surprises for me for Christmas. And I will pop up some pictures so that you can see some of the fun things that we did. But given the weekend and the fact that I really just made the most of it, what I have in my personal spending envelope is what I'm going to have for the rest of this month for January. I will not be adding any more in terms of cash. Anything that I did a lot, I kept in my checking account because I'm going to pay off the credit card that I used during the weekend. For me, using credit cards when I'm out and about traveling is a lot safer than using your debit account, just because credit cards have far more protections than your checking account. And I just feel like it's just safer that way. So this is my personal spending. This is all I have left. And I am going to do my best to not touch it at all because I want this to go to savings challenges. So let's see what we have left. We have 10, 20, 30, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So I have 50 left, and I would really like that to go to savings challenges, so I'm going to do my best to not touch it at all. My husband, I know he has been dipping into this just a little bit, but let's see what he has. He has 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 420. So not a lot at all, actually. There we go. Not a lot, like he has a lot. He has not touched a lot. I realize that might have come out wrong. Date night is still empty. We will be cash stuffing that today. Dining out is not going to get anything else for the rest of the month. This is what we have to work with. So we've been just doing really good at eating at home, and that is the goal until my check on January 30th, which will be February income, but that'll be the next time I will cash stuff this. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 61. So clearly we're not going to be eating like at a restaurant, like a sit down, but this could, for like our yoga Saturday, we could probably do something like Chipotle or Rubio's. Probably not Panera. That's a little bit more on the expensive side, but nails, I will be adding to it. We get our nails done tomorrow. I'm filming this on Friday. You're watching this on Sunday. My nails are already done at that point, but I will be adding more to it so that it covers both mine and my daughter's. So I have 100 and this should be 130. 110, 20, 30. Yeah. And I'm hoping that this time, depending on what design she does, I'm hoping we have a little bit of rollover. Kids has 20. I'm hoping to not touch that. And I'll probably put that to savings challenges, but ideally I might roll it over. Or I might put it into the new envelope I created. I did put it in low priority because we do have at least a little over a year, but for graduation. I hadn't thought about that, but I wanted to start saving for like maybe a graduation party or, you know, a gift that I want to give them at graduation. So I'm going to start saving for that. Toiletries, we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 240. So we have 240 in toiletries. Household, we have 50, 70, 81, 82, 83. And then I keep forgetting about miscellaneous, so we don't have anything in there. So let's go ahead. I don't know why I turned it. So let's go ahead and cash stuff. So my husband is going to get his final 100 for the month. So I will have contributed 400 to this envelope in the month of January. So let's go ahead, put 100 in there. So now he has 520. Date night is going to get 100. I did that in a 50, 2 20s, and a 10. Okay, so now we have 100 in date night, and if we don't use that in January, this will roll over. Okay. Dining out's not getting anything. Nails. So I did 100. I did 2 10s. And I did the 2 5s. All right. Oh my goodness. There we go. So now we have 260 ready to go for tomorrow. I'm excited because we also missed yoga last weekend since we were in San Diego. And we'll have yoga, nails, lunch. It'll be nice. So I know earlier I said I was going to pop up on the screen or discuss what we did, but Sky took me to San Diego. You guys know we let go of our SeaWorld passes. We did go ahead and cancel those. We've had them for many years, but it was time. We weren't traveling to San Diego as often as we used to. But she had decided, because beluga whales are one of my favorite ocean animals besides dolphins, to book swimming with beluga whales. Mind you, this was booked prior to December. But December 16th, Ferdinand, the male beluga whale, passed away. He was 53. In the wild, they don't tend to live beyond 50, so he definitely lived longer than expected. But I know exactly which one this was. He had a very odd tooth that stood taller than the rest. I have several pictures and videos of him from over the years. And I guess when that happened, they canceled the swimming, but they changed it to just the encounter, where they swim up to you, you pet them, and they talk about how they provide veterinary care and what they eat and stuff like that, which was so amazing. Even though getting in with them would have been really cool too, this was such a thoughtful gift from her, and just really meant the world to me that she did that with her own money. She saved up for it. So she had to purchase the tickets to get into the park as well, because I had just canceled our membership, which part of me was like, man, she should have tried to hint to me to keep it for a couple more months, right? But she's like, then it would have been obvious. And I really wanted it to be a surprise. So that was such a beautiful experience for me. They are beautiful creatures. I can't even begin to tell you how, for me, how magical it was. And then the next day, she had booked an escape room, which was so cool. And she knew that we fell in love with the one that we tried in Santa Barbara. And that's something I wanted to start doing. I even said I probably need to create an envelope for it because they are so much fun. Very engaging. You're really interacting with whoever you go with, you know. It was just a beautiful experience. We actually did not get out of the second room. We didn't make it into the third room. This one was really tricky. There was really nothing, like no hints. Like the one in Santa Barbara had riddles, things for you to really ponder on and try to solve. This one had nothing, like nothing. And they allowed, like if you weren't trying to make the scoreboard, you could get as many hints as you want. So we did grab a couple of those. But honestly, I mean, when we walked out of there, we were like so annoyed. We wanted to just go back again. So they actually offer, if you make a purchase same day, they get 20% off. You didn't have to purchase for that day. You can purchase a gift card for future. So we did that. So we have a year to use that. And we're going to try the same room again. And we talk about it and we kind of try to remember what did we do so that we can try to get through room 1 and 2 quick enough to where we can focus on room 3. Because I can imagine that's probably even harder than the first 2 rooms. But overall, it was such a great weekend. We did visit the Whaley house. We did the paranormal experiment, which is, I can't show too much of that. They asked for us not to. I can't on this platform. Like I can on my personal, but I can't on this platform. But I will say that it was a very interesting experience. Very cool. There's so much history to that house and into that town. It was just awesome. And then we also did what they call the SEAL tour. So it's basically a Hydroterra vehicle that can go on land and in water. We saw sea lions, babies. I mean, it was just a fabulous weekend. You know, just her and I. The last time we took a trip, just her and I, was her 10th birthday. So it'd been about 5 years where it was just her and I. And I think that's important to have time with each child, like separate, alone from everyone else. So it was just a really nice weekend. And all right, story time is over. Let's get back into cash stuffing. We're going to hop into my high priority binder. All right, so let's start with some of my vehicle sinking funds. So these are sinking funds that are going to care for our vehicles. Some of these are billed annually. Some of them are, well, like we choose to do our insurance annually. Our roadside assistance is annually as well. Obviously registration is annually, but I want to be prepared for these because they're larger bills, they're larger amounts. So I like to save for them every month so that by the time the bill is generated, we're ready to go. So vehicle registration, I'm going to go ahead and throw in another 100. And let's see where we're at. All right, so we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 650, 670, 680. I need to think a little under $1,000 in here to cover all 3 registrations. One of them is coming up in February, and then the other 2 are both in July. So I have time, so we're making really good progress. But this is something that when I sit down and I create my budget, this goes into my monthly budget. This will be factored in every month, every year, for however long we have vehicles, because I don't ever want, like we did the first year after we got his car, we didn't realize, didn't dawn on us that our registration would be due the same month. So to get that back-to-back bill was like, oh my gosh, we had to pull from our savings, which I don't like doing. And I mean like our emergency savings, which is meant to like be in lieu of our paycheck if something were to happen to our job or our income. Okay, vehicle maintenance, we are going to do 250s and 120s. So the reason I did that is because I know that I'm due for an oil change and I want to be able to have change in here to pull out. So vehicle maintenance, I want to try to get this to about $2,500. That should cover like our oil changes, windshield wipers, and tires for like, I don't know, however long it would take for those to like come up. Like we don't need tires right now, but I want to have the money in there ready to go. And then this will kind of just be a revolving sinking fund, meaning when we use it, we'll then replenish it back up to the 2,500. But I'm trying to get it to the 2,500 as quickly as I can, hence the 200 deposit today. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and then 20, 40, 60, 80. Oh, so we have $600 in here. Not too bad. And then we also have that 5,000 sitting in a high yield savings account for vehicle emergency. That would be something like transmission, things like that. Okay. Now we're going to add only $10 to detailing. This is, you know, it is a lower priority, but I put it in this binder because I wanted it grouped with all the stuff that pertains to our vehicles. So 20, 40, 60, 75. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's low priority, because low priority, like I have my high priority and I have my low priority, that does not necessarily mean it isn't important. It could mean simply I don't need it as fast as I need, for example, our registration. Like, yes, taking care of your stuff, your purchases, especially your big ticket items, is important. It's going to prolong its life, right? That's something we should be investing in. So this isn't necessarily low priority, but I don't need it right away. So I could have put it in this binder, but again, I wanted to group it with our vehicle category. Now we're going to go into our home category. I'm going to jump right back here to trash. This is new for me to cash stuff, the trash and the water. So I literally keep forgetting. So instead of doing 20 each paycheck, I forget and then I double up the next paycheck. So I'll be doing 40 in each. I will remember. February, I will remember. So now in trash, we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 160. So this is actually enough for the next bill, but again, we're going to keep doing $20 a paycheck. I want to make sure we always have it when it's needed. Water's going to get 40, and I don't know how I managed to do it when I set up my bill pay, but I actually paid my water bill twice. So it was like $105, and I was just wondering when I went into my account why I was I had a credit balance of $105. It made no sense to me. And then I went to my checking account, I did my tracking of my spending, and that's where I was able to identify, oh, I paid it twice. So basically, once I get this to the 105, I'm going to pay myself back. I'm just going to put it back into my checking account because basically that's what that $1,000 cushion is for. Remember I told you I have $1,000 in my checking account at all times. That's my buffer. That's for these times where a bill is higher than you anticipated, or you're like me and you're silly and you decided to pay a bill twice, right? So it covered me and then I'll just replenish it. No big deal. Okay, so we have 80. And that bill won't be due again until, I think, April, because that's every 2 months. We just paid it. It was due beginning of February. So I think April. All right, so that should be it for this binder. We'll hop into my low priority now. All right, low priority. I still need to get my Cricut to cut the vinyl. So strange that my Cricut cut the vinyl in the white for this binder, but wouldn't cut the pink. It literally makes no sense to me. I've got to figure out if it came with a different type of needle. Like, what am I doing wrong? I wish I could just FaceTime someone and show them what I'm doing and they just tell me what to do. Because I haven't quite found a YouTube video on it that is helpful in the way that I need it to be. Sorry for the glare. So I have $50 to work with for seasons. So I did 20 and 3 10s. Okay. You'll see that winter is gone. There's nothing in winter. I pulled all of that to help fund the San Diego trip. But winter isn't quite over yet. When does winter end? Does anyone know? I think I'm going to put a 20 in there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put a 20 in winter. And then I'm just going to split this up. So spring will have now 20, 30, 40, 50. And summer will now have 20, 30, 40. I feel like they're all going to be about $10 apart from each other because these ones are further out in time. And this one will have 30 for fall. And I am keeping my seasons split. I was torn. Did I want just one envelope for seasons? No, I do not. Because if I do that, it'll all be spent in one season. And I want to save for specific seasons and make sure that it is there by the time that season starts. Okay, so let's go to my miscellaneous, which is back here. And am I right? It's back here what I need? Yes. Okay, so for haircuts and makeup, I did a 20 and 3 10s. So I'm going to put 30 in hair. So $30, oh, I'm so sorry for the glare. $30 in haircuts. And then I'm going to put $20 in makeup. I am not a huge makeup person. I'm really not. I actually did the Luxe Lash Lift tongue twister, or like say that 5 times fast. And I don't need to wear mascara now. Like I could, and I may, but it's amazing. This kid is amazing. Sky did it for me in San Diego, laid down on the hotel bed, and I literally fell asleep while she did the lash lift. And I'm a huge fan. This was actually suggested by The Simple Budget. I watch her videos religiously. She's so cool. I love her and her husband and their like personality and the way that they interact with each other. It makes for very fun videos. But she recommended it and I tried it and I'm a huge fan, so I'm recommending it as well. And sometimes I'll put like a shimmer eyeshadow, but I don't wear a lot of makeup. However, since my girls kind of do, and you're supposed to replace your makeup like mascara, like what is that, every 6 months, I think, your mascara. I figured it'd be good to have this in here for when it's time. And plus, during the holidays, we wind up at Ulta a little bit. Like I had made some purchases like around November, December at Ulta. But if I start saving for that now, I don't have to worry about it then, right? Like I don't have to use my paycheck in that month to cover that bill. I will have this. Like I'll use my Ulta credit card, but then I'll just pay it right off. Again, I don't pay interest, not on anything. Let's move into holiday. Okay, so if you noticed a difference, my holiday binder is no longer the pink. I did switch it to the white one, and I'm using the pink one for my 52-week challenge. And I'm in love with this white. By the way, my binders are supposed to arrive by around February 6th. I will have the white, gray, black, and pink available. It will be different on the inside. I believe I kept this back part the same. My logo will be right here. This side, I had them add a couple more slots, and then I had them do the window in case anyone wanted to use it for like their ID or like an affirmation card. I figured that would be a good option. It doesn't have to be your ID. This could be just a stay-at-home binder, but I know some people like that, so I wanted it to be basically possible for both. So I did have them add the clear window. I really hope that they come in good condition and I don't have issues with them. But this will be the last time I restock this style, because if you have watched my previous videos, you know I kind of felt like imposter syndrome because both Emily and I, she's the aesthetic dollar, had looked into this binder almost the same time. And then but she was able to launch hers quicker because I was still saving money to purchase. And then since her, I've seen 2 other budget influencers with the same binder. So then it just becomes a little too competitive and not as unique as I wanted it to. But this is what I call my Piper collection. So this is the Piper collection. The reason I chose this originally was especially for the black. This reminds me of the Louis Vuitton, and I will see if I can find a picture of it and pop it up. But this reminds me of the Louis Vuitton. So this to me was kind of like high end without the price tag. And that was my goal. But it'll be the last time. I'll have 50 in each color. And then once those are gone, I won't be restocking. And I'm going to try to create something that I have not seen out there and, you know, be able to offer you guys something different. So let's get started. I did also switch all my envelopes to matte instead of the glossy. I'm going to keep some of my Starlight as you see, but I've moved more towards matte for filming purposes because I really hate that I'm always putting that glare on the screen. So let's start with 4th of July. Ooh, I literally went right to 4th of July. That was not planned. We are going to add 200. I'm quickly bulking this one up because I want it to sit in a high yield savings account to earn interest before. And I think our goal, I think I had our goal at 700. So 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have to take a look, but I believe 700 was my goal. And if that is the case, then that is now fully funded. 4th of July, I still have not come to terms with the fact that we don't go to Big Bear every year for 4th of July like we used to. But that's why I always cash stuff so much for 4th of July, because we go to Big Bear, we will rent a boat, we'll do really fun things out there. My grandparents had a cabin out there. They have both since passed. My uncle does have a cabin out there, but it just hasn't been the same since they passed, and my kids keep bugging me, so I'm going to see if we can get up there again this year. We'll see. So that's why I kept the amount the same. Plus, anything we don't use, I can throw into my seasons envelopes, and we'll be fine. All right, so now let's go into Halloween. We're going to put 100. Let's see where that puts us. That might have us fully funded at 500. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So Halloween for this year is fully funded 10 months early, which is really awesome. But that is going to cover costumes in case they want to do anything a little bit elaborate. It also covers like gas to drive somewhere to go trick-or-treating. We usually travel to do that because our area is not the best for trick-or-treating. Plus, it also covers us eating out that day. So if you're questioning the amount, that's why. When I pick and choose the amounts for my holidays, I consider everything. It's not just presents. I consider, are we traveling? Do we need gas? Are we going to need to eat out? I consider it all. And then we're going to go to Christmas. That's going to get the rest of this to 20. I had already put 100 in. My goal is going to be 3,500 this year, which means I will be putting this amount, 320, every month. I increased the goal from 3,000 last year because I really liked the idea of doing the season passes. We did Universal Studios this year. I'm hoping to, I don't know, maybe look into Knott's Berry Farm or Universal again if they loved it enough, or a Disneyland trip, which we didn't have enough time to book for this last time. So that might be switched to this Christmas. But Disneyland is really ridiculously expensive. So I'm really going to try to save up for it. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it for today's cash stuffing. I appreciate you hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.